Hello everyone, this is Ange. Welcome to another episode of the Visual Novel Monthly Recap. This series covers news related to visual novels in the community, this time talking about March of 2024. P-Cube announced B Project Ryusei Fantasia, a visual novel based on an ensemble of 4 male idol groups. Key made an interesting announcement that they're going to release Harmonia HD on Steam. If you didn't know, Harmonia had a non-HD version on Steam already, which was mostly NVL. However, Harmonia also had a Switch port that had ADV, and it appears this Harmonia HD Steam release is gonna basically be porting the Switch version already directly to Steam. Shirobune released Criminal Border Second Offense, or as it's called on Steam, Liminal Border Part 2. This is an episodic linear story developed by Purplesoft and was written by the person who wrote the 9-9 series. I've read Criminal Border First and Second Offense, and I think so far this is easily one of the most underrated psychological thriller series in visual novel form I've seen. I have a video review on Criminal Liminal Border 1 on this channel if you're interested. A fan translation of Otogiri Soul was released by Retro Translator. This is one of the first visual novels developed by known developer Spike Chunsoft. It appears to be a pure horror visual novel with things like vampires and werewolves and stuff. Shirobune announced that they'll be translating Amanatsu, which is developed by Azarashi Soft of Amakano fame and is written by Hayase Yu of Making Lovers and Chihiro Himukai fame. It appears to be a light-hearted moege set in the countryside and will have the emote engine, aka animated sprites similar to the Nekopara series. I'm personally proud to announce that I'm part of a small fan translation group that's going to be doing a fan translation for the Fandisc, A Sky Full of Stars, Interstellar Focus. This is a fandisc that has a what-if route where the main character gets with both his childhood friends at the same time, consensually of course. Right now the translation is at 100% and editing, image editing, and programming are on the way. Shirobune released the Nukige Saving Mrs. Hinako with My Cock. I'll let the Twitter description speak for itself. The visual novel with a raunchy premise but heartwarming twist. So get a move on and save Mrs. Hinako from her terrible marriage. For fans of the House and Fata Morgana, Manga Gamer released a digital version of the official art book on Steam. You need to own a copy of Fata Morgana on Steam to access it. Manga Gamer announced that they'll be translating the fandisc for one of the few otome they have, Steam Prison Beyond the Steam. It will be Japanese, English, and Chinese on both Steam and Switch. Surprisingly kind of rare for Manga Gamer to contribute to an English translation for a console release. P-Cube announced they will be translating Since Memories Off the Starry Sky. This is a series that's the latest in a very long-running Memories Off series, a slice-of-life drama. Thankfully, Since Memories specifically will only have cameos to previous characters and will be its own story if you're fine with reading the modern version of the latest in a series. Shirobune announced they will be translating Destiny Star Girlfriend 2. For reference, this is a series developed by Mirai, a side company to Minato-Soft, the developers of the Magikoi series. Despite being called a sequel, the Destiny Star Girlfriend visual novels individually are their own routes. So if you want to start with 2 due to liking Maya's design or personality more, you certainly can. If you want to start with 1 though, I have a video review on my channel personally recommending the first Destiny Star Girlfriend as a solid comedy moege. I personally happened upon a release of Macau Midnight Madness, a romantic comedy Yuri visual novel that stars an ex-tennis star. This visual novel seems to have gone under the radar, but it has a notable thing that could be good or bad for some. This is the first newer visual novel I've seen that's open with how it has AI-generated graphics. AI art is a big buzzword for better for worse these days, so I felt it was worth bringing up for this release. Speaking of AI generation, Alisoft, the developer of Rance, Eve Nicole, and Dona Dona, made a statement that they will do active takedowns of AI-generated fan art of their works for money. This is big since the fan art doujin circles is a huge part of Japan's weeb culture, and it seems they want to preserve the human touch for fan art, at least for their works. Aniplex.exe announced Tanetsumi no Uta, a visual novel apparently written by Kazuki from Studio Homage Doujin Circle, the creator of the well-received Kuni series. Sadly, I don't know much about this writer or the series, but people seem excited regardless. For fans of Amairo Chocolate, unfortunately the official digital release of it on Switch was cancelled for the US and Europe fans. Thankfully, there will still be an English text option on Japanese and Asian versions of Amairo Chocolate Switch, but just be ready to import a physical or switch your Switch language to Japanese in order to download it. Alright, and that's it for March of 2024. As always, if you have any feedback, positive or negative, feel free to leave a comment below or in one of my social medias. First, I want to give a huge shout out to the local weeb who continues to be a recurring editor for the Visual Novel Monthly Recap. And now to shout out my YouTube paying members. Thanks to Ice for being in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 3 months, Amorian for being in the VN Weirdo tier for 3 months, Alberio for being in the VN Weirdo tier for 5 months, Sabinfire for being in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 7 months, David Mendiola for being in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 9 months, Lee Douglas for being in the VN Weirdo tier for 10 months, Marie Antoinette, who's been in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 19 months, and Dexton Boston Terrier Dog RIP for being in the VN Super Weirdo tier for 12 months. And finally, T-Lover, who continues to be a monthly paying member on Ko-Fi. Much appreciated.